Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a lovely Grand Seiko Heritage Collection SBGA203. Now this is a timepiece 41mm in gloriously finished stainless steel from the Heritage Collection. It's a handsome spring drive auto with a 3-day power reserve, a lovely two-tone effect, the black against the silver, and the timepiece wearing easily on my 16cm circumference wrist because it has a wonderful and one might even say slightly banana-like curvature to its case. It has a slope almost like you'd find on a tonneau case, so it wraps around the curve of the wrist. It is a broad watch from lug to lug, no doubt, 51.7mm if you include the end links, that's the total distance across the wrist. If you include just the lugs themselves, for example, if you wanted to put the watch on a strap, you'd find that the measurement across the wrist is a more compact 48.8mm. The timepiece is a slender 12.7mm thick, and you can see the slope of the case flank and the conical bezel means that any dress cuff, even a tight sleeve, will easily fit over this watch. The spacing between the lugs 20mm, so you'll have a world of options in that common size if you wish to take the watch off its bracelet and go with the strap option. That said, the bracelet's handsomely made and solid. Grand Seiko bracelets in steel use screws for removable links rather than pin sleeves you'll see on the titanium, and you'll also note that there is a half link built into the bracelet on each side of the clasp, which is a twin trigger release system, so it's very solid and secure until you positively disengage by depressing both triggers. There's also a handsome staggered link alignment, differential sizing of links, as well as differential finish with both polish and satin finish for contrast. Moving back to the case, you can see that the end link conforms to the case, and there's a nice step that abuts the edge of the bezel. It's a handsome transition. The flank of the case, that banana-like curvature that I mentioned, is beautifully black polished in mirrored fashion. This is a legendary Grand Seiko tin plate Zaratsu style finish, executing by eye and hand what would be done with a machine at most Swiss manufacturers in the same price range. This is a completely artisanal, optically flawless finishing of the case. It's a hand-finished case, quite literally, done on a Zaratsu machine that allows for perfect finishing to a mirror's shine. The only time you'll see finish like this on a Swiss watch is on small internal components such as screws and swan's neck regulators on Geneva hallmark timepieces. There's also, as you can see, some nuance to the design with a little bit of a beveled edge transitioning to satin finished lug hoods, and you can see that there's even a little bit of an underslung case back that allows the watch to sit down and sort of nestle down on the wrist and wear thinner than its 12.7mm. The bezel is of high polish, conical, and minimalist, and the dial is a lovely and lush black, as you can see. Grand Seiko dial quality is on par with Rolex as the best in the business among mainstream watch brands. That is, brands making thousands of watches, not dozens or hundreds. You'll also note that the hand-finished individual pieces of dial furniture, the hands, the Grand Seiko logo, the aperture for the date, the indices, all of these are executed manually by micrometric finishing artisans who use diamond-tipped tools to create these components. So the contrast between satin and polish is sensational, and you can see the black polish on the edges of the Dauphine-style hands, as well as on the edges of the faceted indices themselves. There is a sunken register for the power reserve, 72 hours, automatic winding, the screw-down crown endows the watch with 100-meter water resistance, and you have a quick set system for the date, which is tastefully rendered with a monotone black date disc rather than a silver or white disc that would stand out awkwardly. You have the quick set system. You also have the stop seconds function, so you can set the watch precisely to a reference time. Now, because it is a 72-hour power reserve and not days and days and days, the 3-hour reserve advances rather quickly on the power reserve scale when you wind manually, so it's a wonderful little bit of horological theater to demonstrate to your friends if your watch is not already fully wound. Turn the watch over and you can see the Grand Seiko manufacturer, spring drive caliber 9R65, automatic winding, 3-day power reserve, precision of plus or minus 15 seconds per month. It is a 30-jewel watchmaker assembled, watchmaker regulated, and when the time comes, watchmaker maintained movement that is designed to last for the life of the owner and the life of the watch. The timepiece features a unidirectional glide wheel that creates an induced electrical current that wakes up a quartz oscillator, and then that quartz oscillator creates an electromagnetic back force that governs the speed of the wheel, effectively regulating it to run slower or faster as necessary, but it's not a conventional quartz watch. It has no batteries, it has no capacitors, it has no motors. All of the action is propelled by the mainspring, and you can see because the glide wheel does not reverse direction, it moves in one direction, it's unidirectional, you have a perfectly smooth sweep to the hands. So this is a watch that has a stepless, truly smooth sweep to its hand, something you will not find on any Swiss watch, with the exception of one oddball Piaget. So this is a distinctive Seiko and Grand Seiko technology that took parts of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s to develop. The concept started in 1977, spring drive automatic only came about in 2005. It was worth the wait. See this example and throw it on your wrist on the watch box.